Okay, everyone, let me explain what I saw. I noticed Papoose at the end of the screen just like you all mentioned. I went back and checked and sure enough he was there. I also saw Remy, Fat Joe, and a few others. First it looked like just another regular live video. But the moment it started I could tell something was different. This wasn't someone joking around or chasing attention. The energy felt heavy. It felt like a man who had been carrying something inside for a long time, and finally decided he could not hold it anymore. His face looked calm, but his eyes told a different story. He didn't look angry. He didn't look excited. He looked tired, like someone who had already accepted whatever might happen next. When he started talking, his words came slowly. Each sentence felt careful, like he had thought about this moment many times before. He didn't rush. He didn't yell. He spoke like he was placing pieces of his life in front of the public one by one. First, people in the comments were confused. Some were joking. Others were asking questions. But as he kept talking, the mood changed. The chat slowed down. Screenshots started appearing. People began recording. Everyone could feel that this was no longer entertainment. This was something personal. He spoke about a night that he said was kept hidden. He didn't go into every detail, but he made it clear that this moment meant a lot to him. It wasn't just a misunderstanding. It wasn't just a rumor. He described it as something that crossed a line he never thought would be crossed. Then he mentioned a name that made the entire chat explode. The moment he said 50 Cent, everything changed. Messages started flying. People were tagging friends, sharing links, and reacting in real time. It felt like the entire internet leaned forward at the same moment. What made it heavier was that he didn't show proof. He didn't play recordings. He didn't post messages. He just talked about them. And somehow that made it feel even more serious. When someone says they have something but chooses not to show it, people start filling in the blanks on their own. He said there were private conversations, messages that felt too close, voice notes that didn't sound like casual talk. He didn't describe them as jokes or harmless exchanges. He described them as moments that made him question everything he believed about his relationship. As he kept going, his voice started to change. Not louder, not sharper, just weaker. You could hear it in his breathing. You could hear it in the pauses between his words. This didn't sound like someone trying to win an argument. It sounded like someone trying to survive a painful truth. Then he said something that shifted the entire situation. He said this wasn't just about him. He said it touched his family. That was the moment when it stopped being gossip and became something much deeper. The chat reacted differently after that. Some people sent hearts. Some told him to stop. Others begged him to explain more. But everyone could feel that this wasn't just a public figure talking anymore. This was a father, a husband, a man talking about trust breaking inside his own home. He spoke about doubt, about not being sure anymore, about questioning things he once believed were solid. He didn't accuse. He didn't insult. He admitted that he felt lost. That's what made it so uncomfortable to watch. It didn't feel like drama. It felt like grief. When the live ended, nothing felt settled. There was no clear ending, no final statement, just silence. But the internet didn't stay quiet. Clips started spreading within minutes. People took pieces of what he said and posted them everywhere. Some added captions. Others added music. Everyone had an opinion. Some people believed he planned this. They said every word sounded measured, like he knew exactly what he was doing. They replayed the video again and again, breaking down his tone, his pauses, and his expressions. Others believed he was breaking down. They said no one could fake that kind of pain. They focused on the way his voice cracked and the way he looked away from the camera at certain moments. And then there was the name that kept coming up again and again. 50 Cent. People started digging. Old interviews. Old photos. Old videos. Any moment where Remy and 50 were in the same space suddenly looked different to them. Things that once seemed normal now felt suspicious. Then audio clips started circulating. People said they were from Remy. The clips were quiet and hard to understand, but viewers listened closely. Some claimed they heard plans being discussed. Others said it sounded like inside jokes. Everyone heard something different, but everyone agreed it didn't sound casual. The comments became divided. Some defended her. Some attacked her. Some said none of this should be public. Others said the truth deserved to come out. Then Papoose mentioned something that made the situation even heavier. He spoke about questions around his child, about not being sure, about hearing things that made him doubt something no parent ever wants to doubt. That moment changed the tone of everything. People stopped laughing. They stopped joking. The reality of what this meant hit harder. This wasn't just about adults making choices. This was about a child's life, a family's future. From that point on, the story wasn't just trending. It was being analyzed. Blogs wrote long posts. Videos broke down every sentence. Fans created timelines. They matched dates, locations, and events. They tried to connect dots that may or may not have been there. Some people said this was unfair. They argued that no one truly knew what happened behind closed doors. They said private problems should stay private. Others said silence only protects lies. They believed he had the right to speak his truth, even if it made people uncomfortable. Meanwhile, there was no immediate response from the other side. No long post. No live video. Just quiet. And that silence meant different things to different people. Some saw it as maturity. Others saw it as guilt. Some believed it was a legal move. Others thought it was emotional shock. As the days passed, the story didn't slow down. It grew. Every old photo became a clue. Every caption became a hint. Every song lyric was read in a new way. People saw patterns where they had never noticed them before. What made this situation stand out wasn't just the names involved. It was the emotion behind it. The way it unfolded in real time. The way millions of people watched someone's personal world fall apart on a screen. It became a conversation about more than betrayal. It became a conversation about trust, loyalty, and what happens when private pain becomes public content. Some people felt guilty for watching. Others felt drawn in. Everyone felt something. At the center of it all was a man who looked like he had reached a breaking point. Whether people believed him or not, most agreed on one thing. That moment didn't look easy. Didn't look fake. It looked heavy. In the end, there was no clear winner. No clear villain. Just a lot of questions. People asked why it had to happen this way. Why it had to be on a live video. Why it had to involve the whole world. Some said it was because he couldn't carry it alone anymore. That the weight of keeping quiet became heavier than the risk of speaking out. Others believed it was about control. About shaping the story before someone else did. But no matter which side people took, one truth remained. Once something like this goes public, it never fully disappears. Screenshots live forever. Clips get reposted. Stories get retold. Even when attention moves on, the record stays. What started as a simple live stream turned into a moment that people will remember for a long time. Not because it was shocking, but because it felt real. It showed how fast a life can change when silence breaks. How quickly trust can turn into doubt. How personal pain can become public conversation. And maybe that's the hardest part of all. Behind the headlines, the reactions, and the opinions, there are real people dealing with real consequences. Families, children, relationships that will never go back to how they were before that camera turned on. The internet will move on to the next story. It always does. But for the people involved, this moment will stay. That's what made it feel different. It wasn't just something to scroll past. It was a reminder of how fragile trust can be, and how powerful words become once they are spoken in front of the world.